Now we are ready with the front end. Next, let's start to implement the actual functionality. That is, when this button is clicked, a new node should appear with some space to enter the text, and we should be able to change the color of the sticky notes. Then we should be able to move it. All these functionalities should be implemented. So let's start. Here, let me write the jQuery code which will create a new node when the new node button is clicked. So here, let me write $document.ready. Within this function, open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces, and within this we need to write the code. So what we need to do, on the click of the button, we need to write our code. So $ID of the button is btn new, so hash btn new. When this button is clicked, so on the click of this button we need to add it. So here we again have to write function, open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces, and here we need to write the code. So what we are going to do is, let me create a variable called new node, and let me write equals in double quotes $, then I need to add a div. So here let it be single quotes, then div. Let me add a common class called sticky as well as a specific color green. So two class names are added. One is sticky, which is a common class for all the stickies, so that we can have styling for the notes. And we can have different colors, so by default let the sticky notes be in green color. So this is the class name. Then I need to have an ID, so let it be like sticky1, sticky2, like that. So here let me create a global variable called where id equals 1, and here let me write id equals in single quotes sticky, then let me close this double quotes, put a plus, and then I want to attach ID, then in double quotes I want to close this single quotes. So this is like sticky1. So here I have started single quotes, then sticky, then I am adding ID, so it will be sticky1, then I am closing this single quotes. Okay, so this is class and ID. Now I need to close this starting divs closing tag, and also let me have a closing div. Okay, and within this I need to add a text area so that the user can enter the note. So within this let me add a text area, and let me also close this text area, and within this let me just enter some text like add your note. Okay, just note, so that this will be the default text. Now let me make this a draggable element by specifying dot draggable, so that this will be a draggable element. So I have specified some div element and also text area within that div and made it draggable in this new note variable. So ID will be 1 at this point of time, and I need to add it, so ID plus plus, so that ID will be 2, 3, like that. Then I want to append this new node to our body, right? So here let me add a div element with ID container, and let me add the sticky notes within this div element. So here how we can write? We can specify $hash container. How to add an element? We can use the append method and then specify new note. So what will happen? When we click the new button, this div element, which is made a draggable element, will be appended to this container. Now let's try to style this sticky class name and also the text area. So here let me access the sticky class name using dot, okay, and let me style our sticky notes a bit. So let me set a width of 200 px, then height of 180 px, then let me specify a border of 2 px solid black, and I want to have rounded corners, so let me specify a border radius of 10 px. Then to have some gap, let me specify a margin of 10 px, and also a padding of 5 px. And also to give some realistic effect, let me set box shadow to have a shadow, and let me specify the values like for the horizontal shadow position, let me specify 6px. Also for the vertical position, let it be 6px. Then for the blur distance, let me specify 3px. And for the color, let me specify gray. So this is an option to specify shadow around the element. So this is horizontal and vertical position of the shadow. Then this is the blur distance and this is the color of the shadow. So here I have set some of the properties for the sticky class name, which is the div element. Then let me specify some properties for the text area as well. So for dot sticky text area, let me set the width to be say 95%. Okay, so 95%. You can specify the width and height not only in pixels, also in percentage. So height as well to be 95%. Okay, then let me specify the font size to be 20px, that is same as that of the button, and also the font family to be cursive. Then I don't want to have any border for the text area. If we see some borders, it will not look good. So I am specifying border to be none. Now let's try to see the output with some basic styling. Let's try to see the output. Let me refresh. Let me click new note. Okay, here it is shown dot draggable. Also this text area is displayed in white color. So we need to do some modification. Okay, here it should not be started here. It should be started here only, $div. Okay, it should be started here, not dollar should not be included here. So there is some modifications required. Here it should be entered not here but within the div. So that should be fine now. Let me save this. Let me refresh. New note. Okay, now this white is to be changed. So what we can do, we can actually set the background to be transparent for the text area. So background to be transparent. Now let's see, save. Let me refresh. New note. See, it is displayed like this. Now we are actually seeing this handle for the text area. I think we can specify resize to be none. Resize to be none, so that handle cannot be dragged. It means new note. See that resize handle is not getting displayed. So we are adding new note. When you click a new note, it is added here. So I wanted to get it displayed one next to the other. So what we can do, for the sticky, we can specify float to be left so that it will be displayed one next to the other. Let me refresh. Let me click. See, the items are displayed one next to the other. Next, what we need to do, okay, when we click inside this, what happens is that we are seeing the outline. So we need to change that as well. So here, when the text area gets focus, we need to specify the outline to be none. So here, let me specify stick text area focus, which means when it gets focus, we can specify outline to be none. Now let's see the output. Let me refresh. New note. New note. Okay. Click. Okay. Let me remove the content. Pay school fee. Okay, we are able to enter it as we want. Get grocery bill. Yes, it is getting displayed. Next, what we need to do, we are actually able to drag these, right? But when we click on the item below, it should come to the top so that we can enter the text. Also, when we click on an item, that color should be given to the current sticky notes. Then these items should be made resizable. That is, these sticky notes should become resizable. Then a close icon needs to be here so that when this icon is clicked, that particular sticky notes is removed. Like that, we need to add some more functionalities. So we are done with the basic functionality of adding a sticky notes when this new note button is clicked, but we need to add a couple more functionalities which we will do in the next lecture.